Hello and welcome to MGP572. I'm Kevin. With me as ever, there's Sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello, hello, hello.
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 We're back! Don't worry, boys and girls. You don't have to put up with a second week of Sheepdog's solo podcast like you had last week. It's the three of us are back from our holidays. We're bonded. The internet thinks we're a throuple, according to my Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, someone thought Andy had got old.
Let himself go. I mean, I do have the swimming shorts.
Yeah. And someone else assumed we were now a throuple.
Wow.
So most people were like, oh, Pabby's with them. But yeah, there were a couple of people who were just had to go weird with it. But yeah, we have returned. There was the moment when we all went swimming, when I saw Pab's nipples for the first time. When we also noticed he was wearing Andy's swimming shorts.
He was.
So
Yes, that was
That
very
Really could have been
jarring.
Andy then.
yeah, he could have been. Yeah, and had a little sauna with Pabby. All the years I've known you, Sheepdog, we've never had a sauna together. But I've had a sauna with
we
Pabby
not?
now. We've never saunaed together. I don't think I've ever seen your nipples.
No, you probably haven't. I don't tend to.
It was a
flash her
good
about.
10 years before I saw your ankles. I don't think I saw your ankles until we went to Pokemon Go Fest in London last year. Because
Wow.
I
I
was so excited when your ankles emerged from the train station. I remember running towards you, saying that I could see your ankles.
I wore trousers for the first time in like a year today. I don't even know why, really. I just put them on this morning. So they've gone away, no more ankles. But I sent you that photo of my shoulders. Maybe you'll get to see my upper half at some
Well,
point.
now you're a wax man. I imagine we're one step away from seeing your nipples.
I was just thinking to myself as I was saying that maybe I need to get the front done because I didn't get the front
Do you not
done.
have the front done?
No,
do you
no,
not?
there's still-
do you
there's
not?
still hair there.
Surely you topple
Still
over.
hair there. Remember, we're on camera. I can show you that there's a little bit of hair there.
Oh goodness me, he's hairier than I am, and I haven't been waxed.
I bloody ain't. I mean, it stops here now. It doesn't go all the way to my shoulders anymore. Wow.
Interesting. Do they do the top of your head as well when you get your waxing done?
Do you know, I was sat here cursing. So the bloke who built this room, when he was putting the lights in, I said to him, I want 2 bulbs with 2 switches so I can decide which one's on in the room. And he just went and installed spotlights. And he's like, yeah, the room's done. And I went, mate, they're not the lights that I told you to put in. And he tried to charge me like an extra 400 quid for doing it this way. And I said, mate, I specifically told you that I didn't want a bulb hanging over my head because I don't want to be blinding people on camera because this spotlight shines off my head. So he had to give them to me for nothing because I wanted him to replace them to the
You
way
need
I
to get
wanted
yourself some powder. I always powder up before I'm on camera.
I mean, will that help? What does that do?
I mean, I could apply some powder now. This is we are experimenting with recording on video. The podcast's not being released on video anywhere because we're mostly shirtless. But if I put a little bit of powder on my forehead now, just for Sheepdog's benefit, really, see how that's reduced the shine.
Yeah, do you know what? I was ready to when I saw how shiny my head was. I thought, he won't be able to resist. And then I thought, well, I can see a shine on his head, so I'll be able to shoot back with, you're getting me back. But now you're not. Now that's fully removed.
Exactly. So yeah, we've been to Disneyland. Me and Anna and Pab have been on an adventure. We've had a lovely old time. And Sheepdog, you owe us an apology.
Why?
Oh.
Well, 2 reasons, actually. One, I've heard you didn't actually bother to do your solo show that you promised everybody, and I've had a number of people tell me how disappointed they are. They were looking forward to the Sheepdog monologue while we were away.
I did explain. I had a hospital thing on Wednesday. Not over
And that's more
podcast time.
important than this podcast that you don't get paid for.
It wasn't in the evening, but I was very, very tired after it, and that's why I didn't do it. So don't be mean to me.
I'll continue to be mean to you because you also let us down massively. Because the whole reason the 3 of us went to Disneyland, it's off the back of me and Anna going to Disneyland last year. This is even loosely video game related. This is spectacularly almost on topic. But me and Anna went to Disneyland last year and went to the Avengers campus in Walt Disney Studios for the first time and went on the Spider-Man ride where I let Anna down by getting travel sick and she wasn't able to post a high score because the scores are tallied as a 4-player team in the little tram that they put you in, and then you go around firing webs out of your wrists, Spider-Man style, basically playing like a big 3D spectacle wearing video game on wheels, basically. But it was me and Anna and then 2 random Frenchmen last year, and the random Frenchmen were pathetic, and our score was awful. Anna's individual score, if you'd have multiplied it by 4, would have been enough to be the high score for the day, but the total for our tram was awful because the Frenchmen were pathetic, and I had to shut my eyes halfway through because I was going to throw up. So we discussed this on the podcast at the time, long-term listeners may remember, and Pavi volunteered as tribute and offered to come with us to help Anna's quest for a high score on the Spider-Man ride. So Pavi came along with us. I brought travel sickness tablets with me. So we went there, beeline for the ride after a very expensive trip to Disneyland just to set this high score. Only reason we went. We got ready, we got our 3D glasses on, we got to the front of the queue, and they didn't put a 4th person in our tram with us.
They didn't.
We had to try and set a high score as a 3, and my travel sickness tablet only took the edge off, so I still ended up getting a bit queasy and shut my eyes probably 3/4 of the way round. These 2 both posted scores that if they'd have had 2 other people with them would have been enough for high score of the day. But if we'd have just had a random Frenchman off the street, just anyone as a 4th, we would have got in the top 10 for the day. What I'm saying, Sheepdog, is if you'd have come, we'd have got on that high score and Anna's dreams would have come true. You would have made Anna's Disney dream come true. But instead, you decided to stay home and do a solo podcast.
No, he had...
Then didn't even do.
I couldn't have taken like a trip to Disney without my kids.
Yeah, you could. You went to somewhere better than Disney without them earlier in the year. You went to Switzerland. They have perch in Switzerland, and you went there without your kids. That's better than Disney.
I do have to wonder why Anna doesn't just hold 2 guns.
Oh,
it's not guns, it's hands.
Literally
it's all you squirt the web out of your wrist, like Spider-Man does.
So why didn't you squirt with your feet as well? Just.
I mean, personally, I don't know how these 2 set such a high score. I just look side to side, and to my eye, they're just both randomly waving their arms around and not even aiming. I'm there carefully aiming at all of the baddies, and these 2 are just flapping their wings and setting massive scores.
That's right.
I don't think you're aiming. I think you've just gamed the system, and you're just swinging your arms about.
I'm like,
but yeah,
there's a spider. Get that one.
Unfortunately, it did wreck me again, so I had to go and sit down in the shade and sip water. It took me out to the extent that I couldn't go on Tower of Terror with them. Very sad.
Don't ever go on that.
That's where that took me out.
Yeah, I went and had explosive diarrhea, and then I was fine. But basically, we couldn't go back on again. We couldn't just recruit a random Frenchman and go back on. So for the 2nd year in a row, Anna's been let down and not got on the high score of the Spider-Man ride at the Avengers Campus.
606.
We got very for a 3. If they'd have had a separate league table for 3s, I'm sure we'd have been top of it, because the top score for the day for a 4 was like 840,000, and ours was 660 for 3. So we did very well, especially because I absolutely didn't pull my weight. I got about 100,000 of that. These 2 getting a good 300,000 each, probably. So yeah, if we could clone Anna and Pab, we could take over Avengers Campus and set the all-time high score.
You put a lot of emphasis on that word "we" when you've said you're not going to be part of the 4.
Well, I'm the captain of the team, so even it's similar to how I get all these Fortnite and achievements that Team Kev does when Pab's playing on my behalf. As captain of the team, I get all of the credit anyway, even if I'm not actively participating. Mainly because I'm a figurehead / frontman / motivational force. People play better because they want to do it for me. So it is kind of me.
If it's just tracking arms flailing, could you not have got one of those wacky inflatable hand-waving airman things to just be like...
Well, I mean, we assumed we were getting a random Frenchman. We did. We got all the way... Like last year, they gave us 2 random Frenchmen.
Because
we
there
thought,
was 2 of
surely
us.
1 random Frenchman is easier to find than 2 random Frenchmen. It didn't
Really,
occur to me that we'd need an extra body.
How many people do you think are going on rides like that on their own at Disneyland? Like
Loads of people. They have single rider queues there.
Yeah, for roller coasters and stuff, not for the family shooting web thing ride.
This isn't a family shooting ride. This is literally saving this science lab from getting overtaken by robot spider monsters.
Yeah, but it's designed for like 2 parents, 2 kids, that kind of thing, isn't it?
Well, no. Don't think it is. I think that's That's quite upsetting that you've said that. But no, we need a Frenchman. What all this means, of course, is we're going to have to go back again next year and take a fourth person with us. So if anyone wants to be our fourth person, just let us know. If Sheepdog can't go without his kids, then we'll have to find a fourth. What's Adi doing these days? Should we go? Adi can travel down with you, Pabby.
Yeah.
How will learning French help?
Well, because then you could say, like, will you help us save the lab in the Spider-Man shooting game, please?
Well, Peter Parker speaks in French, so we could ask him, I suppose. That'd be handy. If we got Tom Holland, French Tom Holland, who's on the ride, if we could get French Tom Holland to come and sit with us and be our fourth, that would probably be quite advantageous.
And
then I could set a high score. Yeah, so he's there. We saw him. He did all the intro. He explained the rules to us.
And he was also in the game. We had to save him in the big capsule thing.
No, that was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It was Spider-Man we were saving. I'm talking about French Tom Holland.
Yeah.
When the spiders came, Peter Parker went and fetched Spider-Man. He went to get him, and then Spider-Man came back. Peter Parker's still out the back somewhere. We never saw him after he went to fetch Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So we should have got him. That would have been ideal. But yeah, Tower of Terror was the next ride up, and Pabby then was broken as well.
That was a mistake.
And it turns out that Anna's proper hardcore, and me and Pab can't handle it.
Tower of Terror.
I still didn't like it. It was awful.
What do you think Tower of Terror is? You've been on it, Sheepdog, haven't you?
Yeah, where you just fall.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we thought it was.
Just fall.
Yeah, goodness me, has it changed? It basically shakes you around these days.
Oh, it goes up and down a few times, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had nothing to hold on to because I was the last in. So I had Pab next to me. I had to lean across.
When I went on it as a kid, I held on for dear life and was like convinced that I would die if I let go. But when I went on it, the last time I went on it, I think I was with my daughter and my wife, and they held on while I was just like, yeah, which I never do on rides. But actually having my hand in the picture was pretty cool. I mean, everyone else looked terrified in it, but I just looked really like just saluting and cheering and like a champion. I mean, I probably spoilt the picture for everybody because I just looked like a guy with his hands in the air, completely natural, looking fine, while everyone else looked terrified.
But because they left me on my own, not only did I have my explosive diarrhea, I also bought a Tower of Terror hat, which is now in my suitcase.
Does it fall off constantly? Is that what happens?
No, I wish I had it to hand so I could put it on and show you. It's a bellboy's hat, basically. So I have a Tower of Terror bellboy hat. It was on my Instagram. I assume you saw it because I imagine you watch all my Instagram stories. It made an appearance on there. It's a nice hat.
Have you been on it before? Because I can't tell or remember whether it changes routes to kind of catch you out.
It's random.
I was reading about it. Yeah, I read about it before. Apparently, it is randomised each time you go on, so you won't be able to learn the system.
That's cool.
So I think these two just got a particularly wobbly one, and they just basically got shaken around. But you will be delighted to know, Sheepdog, that if you do decide to join us on one of our exciting trips at some point, I have officially come out of roller coaster retirement. I retired from roller coasters at Thorpe Park about 10 years ago because they upset me. But I have now returned. I made my glorious return on Hyperspace Mountain and rode it like a pro and didn't injure myself in any way or get stuck in any awkward positions.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, you did.
What's Hyperspace Mountain?
It's Space Mountain reskinned for Star Wars.
I see.
But I, having not been on a roller coaster for many, many, many years, didn't really remember what the G-force was like, and apparently this one really wallops you. This is a fast ride.
Yeah, I hurt my neck on that ride when I was like 15.
Did you hurt your neck? Yeah. Interesting. Let me tell you a story. I got on there, sat myself on, pulled my little barrier over me, and then just kind of leaned forward, elbows on my knees. Didn't put my back to the chair, just leaned forward,
familiar,
got comfortable, and then the ride started, and my head got forced down between my knees, where it stayed, and I spent the rest of the ride trying to force myself back upright, and eventually we were probably 3/4 of the way through the ride. We got a moment of respite, and I just slammed my head back into the chair because it finally released me. And Anna must have thought I was completely mental, just smashing into the chair. But yeah, I spent the first 3/4 of that ride with my head being forced down to places where I could have kissed myself on the tip. That's the position it was putting me in.
You're like 3 inches taller now. Is that before you got all the photos next to Zealand?
Yeah, exactly. But, oh God, it hurt my neck. So, yeah, I'm not going on that one again. That's very fast. But
I could have warned you about the neck thing, not the G-force. I don't think that happened. I can't really remember how I hurt mine, but it was just...
I think if I'd have been sat up straight with my back braced against the chair like a normal person, I think I probably would have been okay. It's just that I didn't know what to expect. I've never been on it before. It's very fast. It loops you around all over the place. They let me take my bag on it. I'm there with my bag.
They probably won't fall out at the speed they're going. It's like spinning a cup of water around in a circle, isn't it? You can't get out.
Absolutely mad. Anna got her hair trapped in the mechanism.
Mate, I honestly would have warned you because when I went on that as a teenager, I spent the next 3 days back at the place we were staying while my family went out and had a holiday because I was just hurt and didn't want to go anywhere. I was like, no, not going anywhere. They went back to Disney. I was like, no. I didn't go on it again in America because I was like, nah, the last time I went on that ride, I was just injured. But I did go on the one in America when I was younger than that, and that was fine. The French one just seems to be brutal and mean.
God, yeah, it was so fast. But Big Thunder Mountain was fun. I enjoyed that. So that I class that as a roller. That's my level of roller coaster.
Yeah, not a Thor ride now. It should be Thor, surely.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
It was
because of the thunder, Anna.
Yeah, I know that. But
it's a cowboy one, isn't it, or something like a runaway?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I enjoyed that. It was just like being on a nice, pleasant train. So. Yeah, all in all, Disney was an excellent trip. The Avengers campus is as good as ever. We all spent far too much money, so if anyone's expecting us to talk about video games for the rest of the year, tough tomatoes. None of us have got any money left. Absolutely cleared out on just absolute nonsense. I looked through my bag. Some of the stuff I've bought, absolutely. I've got an Ewok, for goodness sake. Why do I own an Ewok?
Oh, you got your Gremlin?
Yeah, Gremlin the Ewok. Where is he? I can't even find him. He's around here somewhere. He might be in the Lego room. I was playing with him earlier. Oh no, he's here.
There he is.
Gremlin the Ewok, audio listeners. I don't like Star Wars, but this guy is beautiful. He's a snuggly little Ewok who I like to cuddle because he's so soft. And don't get him wet because he turns into a Gremlin.
Me and Pab had to look after him on the way home.
Yes. They wouldn't let me sit him on my knee and drive.
I was soaking wet, so they wouldn't let him have him.
I wanted to have him sat on my knee while I was driving the car, but these two wouldn't let me because apparently that's not safe.
I made the mistake of putting a cuddly toy on the passenger seat and then having to open my window and pay a guy looking like a lunatic because me and the cuddly toy were driving along. So you're probably lucky you didn't have one on your lap.
If you think that makes you look like a lunatic when you have to stop and pay a guy, you've never been to a French toll booth where Anna has to pay because the window's on the other side. It is an experience because she can't reach from inside the car, so we're there on a busy French motorway, pull into the toll booth, queue of traffic behind us, and Anna has to get out of the car, pay the machine, then the barrier goes up and she has to dive back in the car, slamming the door shut behind her while I'm accelerating away, and then she eventually gets the seatbelt on again at some point in the future. It's an experience. You should. That's another reason why you should. Don't tell your kids we're going to Disney. Just say I'm going to France. Well, we're getting a bigger car. The big car comes in a few days, so we'll get a roof box and a bigger car and a trailer for all our toys. If we hadn't have bought so much Lego, we'd have been all right.
That was your fault. I wasn't planning on buying any Lego. And then you were
You are a liar! You left space in your suitcase specifically for Lego.
Not
and then
for
didn't
Lego,
use it because you bought too much.
For stuff, because I knew I'd buy stuff. Whereas you bought multiple pairs of shoes.
Clever person would have built a Lego suitcase, surely, just like while you were there.
Well, the lack of baggage wasn't the problem. It was the lack of car space to put said baggage in. So
you could have thrown away your suitcase.
There was a point where I was looking up how much it would cost to just put Pab on a train and meet him back in England.
Kevin!
Would have been cheaper to post the stuff back to England from France, surely.
No, put Pab on a plane, bring the stuff home, and then pick him up from the airport after I've dropped the stuff back off at the house.
No, Kevin.
You were going with him, Anna, don't worry. I was going to stick you both on a plane and just drive the stuff back.
You'd have filled the car with, what was it, stoats, ferrets? You're not allowed? Guns, food, and ferrets, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely not allowed ferrets. Although the no ferret sign isn't there at Eurotunnel anymore. I didn't notice it in either direction.
Season, I guess.
Just maybe you are allowed to bring ferrets these days. I haven't checked. But yeah, it was a jolly good time had by all. If you want to see us in action at Disneyland, the vlogs have started dripping out onto the vlog channel, so you can go and watch us and see what we get up to. See mine and Pab's excellent selection of Disney-themed Northern shirts. It was a fashion parade with all our lovely Northern shirts. You've never seen so many Northern shirts in one place, Sheepdog. Northern
Been to the
shirts are
North
plenty.
before.
Yeah, but you haven't experienced Northern shirts to
Disney
this
ones.
degree. Yeah,
Jesus.
I've got one that's just like 30 Donald Duck faces. It's beautiful.
You wore
But
it
yeah,
yesterday.
it was a jolly fine time. While we were there in France as well, you will be delighted to know I did something else gaming related while we were in France. I charged my Switch using the French electricity. So
Did you use it?
Did you play on it while you were...
I did not use it, but it is still full of French juice. So if I decide I want to play on it again at some point, that's French electricity in there. So it'll play different, I imagine.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, other than playing Football Manager, I haven't done anything else. Although EAFC 25, as we record, is on the verge of releasing on the early access. If you've got EA Play Pro, which apparently I have and didn't realise I had, it's the one that costs you £15 a month. Didn't realise I was paying that. Don't know how long I've had that for. Don't really want to check. But if you've got EA Play Pro, you do get the EA Play Pro edition, which is like the Ultimate Edition, but for mugs. So rather than spending £100 in one go, you get to spend £15 a month for years. But it does mean I get access to it 7 days early. Full access to it as well, not just a 10-hour trial like you used to get on the old early access that you got with the pre-orders. So by the time this podcast is out, I'll be knees deep in EAFC. So you will have the pleasure next week of hearing me talk about an actual video game that I've played that's not Football Manager. Which, I mean, you boys and girls are in for a treat. I can't imagine the things I might have to say about EAFC. Oh, revolutionary, I imagine. I'll have you know the headlines on it. Take your FC loyalty to the next level. That's the headline thing. Anyone who plays it before September 26th gets exclusive club membership benefits, such as a club badge and kits. So, they're new. I haven't had those kits before. That'll be good.
What kind of kits? What, you get a kit as a...
No, in-game kits.
Wow.
In-game skins. They do have 5v5 Rush that's going in this year, which should be fun. So actually 5v5 multiplayer with a Rush goalie that you control, which that does sound like that's like proper playground football.
Isn't that like FIFA Street, though? Isn't that what that is?
Kinda, but it's the fact that it's basically you're controlling all 10 players so you can actually have a proper fun little squad based multiplayer game rather than trying to get 11 people together for an 11 versus 11. You can do a 5v5 and it doesn't matter if you're in goal because you get to be Rush goalie. Love a Rush goalie. But that's it as far as new features on that go. The network game is back on Football Manager, so if you want to see me put Ben, Jack and Zealand in their place once again. The network game is streaming every Wednesday on Twitch. Highlights will be out on Thursdays on my YouTube channel. And, Football Manager's still delayed, so no news about that. I'm not worried. I don't need to earn money this year.
Have they even said, like, oh, it's delayed until X date, or is it just it's, we don't know?
They said they were delaying the announcement until the end of September, and the game's now going to come out end of November, rather than early September, early November for those 2 dates. There has been a leak that suggests that the announcement and pre-orders will happen on the 24th of September, so before next week's podcast, and that same leak suggested that the release date of the game would be the 26th of November, which would suggest early access period around about the 8th to the 11th of November, that is. So we're probably still 6 weeks away from actually being able to play the game and 2 months away from actual release day. So it better be good when it comes out if it's going to be coming out this late. The last time it was this late, it was because it had to tie in with Stadia when Stadia released, and even that, I think Stadia came out on like the 15th. It was nowhere near as late as that. So yeah, it's been a while since we've had it this late. So goodness me, it better be good. It's been completely rebuilt in a new engine, yeah. So it won't be good. It'll be a buggy mess, and it'll be fine because it's the first one. So it's fine. It doesn't need to be good. It just needs to exist so that we can pay our bills. Please and thank you.
Just, I'm sure we'll be getting more network games, more streamer showdowns, more.
Well, on that note, the Streamer Showdown's back as well next month. So, just coincidentally, the Streamer Showdown's back next month after nearly 2 years away. Oof. The network game is back after nearly 2 years away. We just really wanted to hang out together for no other reason. It's
a bit of a free diary unexpectedly.
Yeah, but we all
guys.
we missed each other and we enjoyed hanging out together in Liverpool and wanted to spend more time together. There's no ulterior motive. If there is anyone interested in sponsoring any of that, let me call me. Let me know. But that's not why we're doing it. We're not in it for the money. We're in it for the love of money and the love of the game. So sponsors, welcome. Patreon.com/the network game. That should exist. I need to make a phone call. Someone talk about video games.
Go and make that happen.
Yeah.
Pabanana, have you played any of the new releases that came out since the last episode?
Yes.
Several.
Look at you being professionals.
No, I'm just, thinking to myself, I haven't really played anything new. I can talk about stuff, but you've probably played the Astro Bot.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw that getting hate online. I haven't played it, but I saw it getting hate.
You're clearly looking in the wrong places.
No, I know. I was surprised because I've expected that to get nothing but love, and then I saw someone saying that they didn't want it, and other people saying they didn't want it, and it's like, I don't get it.
Well, they're wrong because they haven't played it.
Is it good? Yeah.
Yes, I enjoy it. Got it the day before we were leaving, I believe.
I'm surprised you didn't try and bring your PlayStation with you then if you had a new game that came out the day before. You told me there was no
room for anything.
Well, you saw there was no room. There was definitely no room. Tell us all about it. Sheepdog's played less than me, so tell us all about it.
No, I've played a few things. I just thought we should get into actual games before I talk about bits. Go on.
Astro Bot. So Astro Bot, I believe, started out as VR, which I played long time ago. And
Wasn't it the bundled game with the PS5? Mm-hmm. Was it on VR before that?
It was a VR game before that, yeah.
Well, I never did.
Yeah, I used to play it on the VR. It used to give me a headache, but I really enjoyed it. And then, like you said, it was... I think it was a bundled game with... Or maybe...
Yeah, it was the free pack-in, yeah.
Yeah, so the last game came out with the PS5 and then this one has been released. And it's more of the same, but... The feedback through the controller is just so nice. I know it's all gimmicky and stuff, but you're in a world that's covered in sprinkles, like sprinkles on a cake, and you can feel them as you walk through it. And it feels like you're walking through sprinkles, or you're walking through snow, or just texturized, and it just feels so nice. But basically, you have a PS5 that's like your home, and an alien comes and you explode and all your parts go missing, and you have to go and find your parts in space. And basically there's 5 worlds, I think, or 5 things in the sky, like galaxies, and then you have to go into the galaxies and then go to the worlds that are in there and basically go and find Astro Bots, because then they help you get to other places on your main hub area. And I think there's 300 to collect altogether. I have about 120, and I'm on Land Galaxy 3, I think. I just got to the boss, and then it was doing mainly because it was late at night, so I turned it off. But it's not too hard for children, but it is hard enough, just enough. It is frustrating sometimes. But they're in these areas, there's obviously Astrobots to find, there's puzzle pieces to find, and then when you get enough puzzle pieces, you take them to your hub world, and they open, you complete it, and then that opens another area you can go to in your hub world. So in the old games, there was I forget what they're called, when you're a kid and there's balls in a thing, and you put a
gotcha machine
in. Yeah, so you got one of them, and you can get accessories for the special Astro Bot she found. So I found what's his name, Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank, and now he has, I forget what I think he's like some bolts or something. So now he has bolts and just little things that are connected to them, and they have their own little things too. And also, when you find these special Astro Bots, they have like little camps. So I've got God of War one over there, and I've got Ape Escape over there, and they all just like hang out together, and it's all like sweet. And you're like, oh, some of the things I don't understand where they're like the characters where they're from. I'm like, I have no idea who you are, but I'll collect you anyway. But like also in the worlds, like when you're collecting Astro Bots, are these secret areas, and if you find it, you go through like a wormhole, and it takes you like to a different world, which I don't like, because like you can find them like halfway through the level, and then you find it, you go, oh, I'll go through there, but you go through there, go to this wormhole thing, but when you come out of there, you don't get put back into the game you're in. You have to start that level again.
Yeah.
Which is annoying sometimes. I wish it wasn't like that. But overall, I find it a very pleasant game. I like how they use the controller. It just feels nice. I like the feel. I just like the feel of it. But that's my thing on it. What about you, Pab? Have you played it?
I've played it. I've played about 6 hours, I want to say.
Oh, jeez, okay.
I finished World 2. You should be playing this game. This game is contending for Game of the Year right now. And Sheepdog, I strongly advise you get this game.
Am I going to have to play this, Pabby? Is that what you're telling me?
Do you like Mario games?
I do.
This is up there with the best Mario games ever.
If only I could play it on my French juice-filled Switch.
Yeah, you could. Well, no.
Well, we've got a PlayStation.
You can play it on a Steam Deck.
Is it on there?
Can I do that?
There's some jiggery pokery you've got to do, but you can do it.
I'll make it happen.
That's quite cool.
This game is up there with Odyssey, not Sunshine, Mario Galaxy. That's the quality that you're getting with this game. Kids like I said, if you're unsure, if you're not convinced by what I'm saying to you, play the Astro's Playroom packing game that came on the PS5, because it's basically a demo for this game, and it's just more of that. The more packed out worlds.
That was good. I played that with. I played that. My son watched me play it, and he loved it, and I loved it, and that's why I was going to get this. I thought I'll enjoy watching me play that. But
absolutely.
Then, as I say, I just saw a few people be a bit mad about it. And I thought, I'll wait and see what you two say.
Yes, I would say that. It's the thing where the levels, like I said, they're not overly difficult. The only difficult levels I've seen are the challenge levels. Some of the secret exit levels, like Anna said, they ramp the difficulty up in them ones because they are secret levels, sort of thing, and therefore, more like the hardcore of the hardcore people do want to.
But again, they're different worlds. Like I found one that was like a spooky one, like ghosts and stuff.
Yes.
And it was it was lovely. It wasn't too hard. It was just done so right, and I was just like, this is perfect. This, like you said, with the Mario games, it was just done so good, and it's just like I want more of it.
They're like little. I don't know. Can't remember how. I think they're the same in Astro's Playroom, where they're like little dioramas, like worlds, where they're not massive open sprawling worlds. It's just like a little level, and you can see most of it from. More often than not, you get to the end of the level, and I go back and look at where I've just come from and gone, is there something I have missed here? Where, because I go through these levels multiple times looking for the secret exits, looking for things I've missed, and I just sit at the top of the map effectively, just looking down, going, where is there something that I have missed in this world? And
Oh, it is annoying when you've missed one. You're like, where is it?
Well, it's like when you've missed one, because if it's a puzzle piece, there's like a markers on the pause screen of like how many bots you've got to find and how many puzzle pieces you got. If you collect the second puzzle piece and you haven't got the first one, you're like, okay, I've messed up somewhere. There's a puzzle piece back. I have to go backwards. So I literally trek myself backwards and go, right, where are we going, and find it. That is. Like, for 6 hours, I don't know whether I could have finished this game in 6 hours, but I feel like I could have done a lot more in 6 hours if I wasn't meticulously, like looking through every single bit of world. And that is the one thing I am a little down on, is a sense of, and that's a me problem, is that I have to collect everything. I can't just enjoy the world and what it is. I have to literally be looking over the edge of every little ledge, looking down underneath, round where, craning the camera around, looking for everything.
If you miss something, if you go back into that world again, you can pay 200 coins.
Yes,
for this little bot that will follow you and show you where these.
Yeah, it kind of flashes. It flashes and chirps as a bird that you pay for 200, and it's probably worth it. It's worth it sometimes when you just cannot see what you're meant to be getting to. I did it once just to see what it did.
Yes,
and yeah, it is useful. It is useful. The only other thing I found is that sometimes I feel like one of my friends that pointed this out to me, that sometimes the depth perception sometimes I get is off slightly, and I find sometimes that I'm misjudging where I'm meant to be jumping because I can't see how far away certain platforms are, and I just end up missing it by a long shot. I don't know if that is, again, just a me thing.
Yeah, I've not found that.
As soon as my friend pointed it out to me, I noticed it immediately. I was doing it all the time. I wasn't hitting certain platforms, or I was just jumping way out of time. But
no, I've not found that, but that could just be
minor nitpicks. Other than that, this game is pretty much spot on, and there's a good chance that it'll be in my top 5 easy. Easy top 5, and like I say, Sheepdog, I think this game is perfect for you and your kids. I think the kids will eat this up because it's not too difficult. It really isn't. It's not one of them games that's going to punish you.
Sounds like they might need to get it for Christmas, so then I might have to play it then.
Oh well, yeah, that could work.
Yeah. It's not a kids' game, but it's definitely for.
Then I shall play it. Hand it to me, Anna.
It's down here somewhere. It's over there. Yeah, I can see it. Have you got a disk drive?
On my Spider-Man one. It's in the bedroom.
I nearly swore. What was?
Swore about what?
You know what?
No, the listeners don't.
Well, I've got Pab, who's got Jiminy Cricket on his shoulder, and I've got Kevin with just a giraffe face. He's more
got a few things behind me
than he is me. Good Lord, Kevin.
If you want to come and sit on my knee the way my giraffe is, then I'd rub the back of your neck as well, the way I'm rubbing his. Yeah, I've got a disk drive on the one in the bedroom, so if you want to deliver that to me after the podcast, that'd be nice. I could have a little play on that. Let it go while I wait for FIFA to unlock. That would be jolly nice.
What, you're waiting till 5 for FIFA?
I'll probably just get up early. I am probably, because did I mention Football Manager's delayed? So I think I'm going to play FIFA career mode for the first time in about 20 years and actually create some content on it. I don't know what content. I don't even know if it's any good. I've not played career mode forever, but I think I am going to actually try and do a little series on it. But I don't want to do an Ultimate Team one because, unlike in previous years where I've been happy to throw loads of money at Ultimate Team, my purchasing process these days is twofold. One, I have no money left because we've just been to Disney. And two, if I did have money, there's Lego I want to buy instead. So I can't really justify...
Is there never not
FIFA
Lego
points.
you want to buy, Kevin?
There's always Lego I want to buy.
Jesus.
I like Lego. Don't know if I've mentioned it. I enjoy it as a hobby.
All I did was buy a tree.
It's your own fault.
Well, because I got myself a Christmas present.
You made it okay to have Lego in the house. We've been over this before. You made it okay to have Lego in the house. You brought this on yourself.
So I also took my Switch to France, and I did.
Did you get French juice in it?
I know, it was already charged before I went.
Rookie mistake.
And I did not turn it on because I was sick.
We were busy. We went to Disneyland. We had time to play computer games there. Did you play any games while we were there, Pabby?
Nope, I had my Steam Deck.
Yeah, exactly. There's just no time. We were busy.
But
Is either sleeping or in the park?
Yeah, it's the most magical place on earth. We were goodness me, we were busy. We had some long days. We were up at we were down for breakfast at 7:30 every morning, and you don't get back to the hotel till nearly 10 p.m. They're long days.
We didn't
I
do that.
got up at
we
like
didn't do
6
them
as well.
days.
Yeah, Pab went and ran in the gym.
I did a 5K every day.
Weird.
God,
Mad
Lord.
man, that's disgusting.
He
Pab.
did
You
like
need to cut that out.
45,000 steps one day.
Yeah, I did. That's probably the most I've ever done.
That was absolutely insane. I mean, that must be the equivalent of a marathon, 45,000 steps. That must be like 25 miles at
I
least.
could look it up.
Yeah.
You must have been tired.
I don't
that
know
day.
why on earth you felt the need to run a 5K before a day in Disney parks. I have no idea. You are insane.
See, our Disney tactic when I was younger was to have the biggest breakfast imaginable and then not eat again till the evening, basically.
Well, we did that on the first day, but the problem with that is you then can't go on the big ride straight away. And so when you stay in the Disney hotel, you get the extra magic hours. So the rides for the queues for the ride are smallest when you first get in the park. So if you have a big breakfast, you then can't take advantage of the fact that you're in the park. So the first day we had a massive breakfast, but then still didn't get on any rides until 10. So it actually looped back round to where there was no point getting up this early then. We may as well have just had breakfast at 9 o'clock and then got in and started the rides at 10. So the next 2 days we had little breakfasts so that we could get straight on the rides. We learned from our mistakes.
I didn't. I was enjoying my breakfasts.
You were enjoying our breakfasts.
Well, because the week before I was ill with other issues.
Yeah, I was fascinated by French jam.
Wow, what's different about their jam?
You squirt it rather than scoop it. It's like sauce. It was like strawberry sauce rather than jam, but they called it jam. It was good. How many miles did you walk that day?
Wednesday, 22.6 miles.
That is absolutely insane.
On a Thursday?
Yeah, go on then.
21.5.
My God.
Miles?
Yeah. Me and Sheepdog did 30 miles in a day once and trained for 3 months and were broken afterwards.
I wasn't broken. I danced and had a pizza and felt fine the next day. And for everyone in the world exaggerates about everything, that was a weird day for me to discover that
my contact lenses are still on a pub car park after that. I ripped them out of my eyes because I was so upset, and I haven't worn them since. I should go back and retrieve them. I was hurt. Remember, I threw my knee out halfway round, so that's why I was extra broken.
I was going to say, the only thing that I think anyone's ever been right about, and even then it wasn't... To be fair, I was going to say waxing was probably like... That was as painful as people said, but it wasn't until she started being weirdly vicious with it. I am going to assume that childbirth is probably as hard as people say, because that looked quite hard.
Well, I've been told by so many nurses that both gallstones and kidney stones are worse than childbirth. So you've experienced gallstone pain, and childbirth's apparently not as bad as that.
Well,
and I didn't find that bad. So, I reckon I'm just a double-hard B word, and
wow.
He's just numb inside. That's what he actually means.
So, yeah, like I said, I took the Switch. I didn't turn it on at all because I was tired. But yesterday... So I've been sick. I got sick at Disney. I've been sick all week. Yesterday I was just feeling sorry for myself. So my phone dinged at me went, "You've paid $14.99. I was like, "What for?" And
Oh, you got EA Play Pro as well.
No, I have the Xbox thing. I was like, "Oh yeah, I haven't turned the Xbox on since we've moved in this house, so it's been about a month. I don't really go on the Xbox, but I was like, oh yeah, I have that." So I turned the Xbox on. The Xbox annoys me because, it doesn't annoy me, but with the PlayStation, I can just put in a cable and it would charge, and I don't have to think about it. With the Xbox, you have to buy the battery pack, then you have to buy the special adapter so you can go and sit on there, and then people go and steal it from you and put it in their room.
Tale as old as time.
So I can't charge my controller because Kevin's took the controller.
Do you know,
My charger!
You just reminded me, I had a funny thing, right? So I've learned something about Microsoft and Xbox. They do not give a toss about EU, UK law. So I've had my Xbox less than a year, although I was slightly confused about which Xbox I was trying to do this on. But my controller was broken and I was trying to claim a repair. They were like, it's out of warranty. I said, I've not even had it a year. It's not. They were like, it says here it was purchased in May. I was like, it definitely wasn't. That bit was a misunderstanding because it turned out I realised I'd bought mine refurbished, and I guess it was bought in May, returned, and then resold to me, and they hadn't updated their systems. They were fine with that. But they were like, we only cover these for a year. You're out of the year. I'll have to go through a whole rigmarole to get that sorted. And I was like, we have like a law in this country that you have to replace it, any tech, within 2 years. That's just the law. And they were like, yeah, but Microsoft's policy is that we're going to do it for a year. And I was like, well, your policy doesn't go over the law of the country. And they were like, the system won't let me. And we just went around in this little circle for a bit. And I was getting ready to be like, right, well, you know, you've done the worst possible thing here. Now you've told me something's impossible, and I'm going to go off and be really noisy about it for a week. And I'm just going to spend 18 months fighting this rather than just buying a new console controller because I'm a lunatic. But then I was on Amazon because they'd asked me to check when I'd bought it, and Amazon happened to be like, oh, if there's any problems with this, let us know and we'll sort it. So while I was on the phone to them trying to sort out the return to Microsoft, I just pinged Amazon customer services, and they were like, yeah, just buy a new one and we'll replace the funds in your account. And so they were like, you can keep the broken one. So now I've got a new one come through the post, which they then gave me the money for, and the one that was drifting slightly is still just in my possession, and I'll probably just try and clean it now. But I was like, yeah, I've tried cleaning it, I've tried fixing it myself, but I was like, right, I've got an extra controller for nothing. But yeah, I didn't realise that companies like Microsoft could just say, oh, we don't abide by the law, whatever. It's pretty fascinating. But I was ultimately pleased. I've got a new controller.
So yeah, I downloaded and installed Ghostwire Tokyo. God, I completely blanked then.
Is that the one you kept getting achievements on yesterday? I was getting very excited hearing that noise again for the first time in such a long time.
Yes, because I've played this before on PlayStation, and I'm playing it again on the Xbox to get achievements, and I enjoyed the game. I can't remember when it came out, a few years ago. I enjoyed it, so I was playing it on this one. What I didn't understand is I started it, I'm just sitting there like watching the cutscene, everything was in Japanese. I'm like, what's that? I remember this not being in Japanese. I was like, what is happening?
Maybe you just knew Japanese.
Huh?
Maybe you could just read Japanese and you'd forgotten.
Well, no, but I was just like, what is happening? Like, I haven't done anything, because like normally when I start a game, I go into options, put on subtitles, because everything needs subtitles nowadays. I was like, I just didn't this time. I don't know. Like I said, I weren't feeling great, so I just forgot. So I'm sat there. It's all going in Japanese. I'm like, well, I know all this because I've seen it before. And then like I went into options while I was in game, changed it to English, but you can't change it to English until you come out the game, then go back in the game, and then it's English. So if you play it, do that before you start the game. It's very odd. So basically, well, it's supposed to be a horror game, but I don't see this as, it's not horror to me.
Like creepy.
It's creepy, but it's not horror like
That's about
in
it.
Resident Evil. That's like with Mr. Big or Mr. E or whatever his name is, when he like chased you. That's scary horror to me. So yeah, basically what happens is you're in Tokyo, obviously because it's got Tokyo in the title, and this fog descends on Tokyo, and as this fog descends, it makes everyone disappear. You just go psh, and you disappear, and your clothes are on the floor. But you, because this is happening, you get hit by a van, and you are like obviously on the floor, half dead. And this spirit comes out, and it's like, oh, I can't take like the fog hasn't taken everyone yet, and this spirit is trying to go in like people who are alive, and he keeps getting pushed back. And then he finds this guy that's on the floor who's like half dead, goes into this guy, and this guy now is half alive basically, and he can't be taken away by the fog, though the fog can hurt you, but it doesn't like psh you away. And you on your way to see your sister, you go to see your sister after having like a internal fight with this spirit, and the bad guy of the game takes your sister. Like your sister's in hospital, she was in a fire or something, and this bad guy takes your sister. So you are on a double quest, basically, to save your sister and for this spirit that's in you to defeat the bad guy. And you basically go around, like, you've got, like, these powers in your hands. It's a bit like Spider-Man, but not quite. And you can, like, you've got fire, you've got water, you've got wind, and you basically are just, like, at them like a Spider-Man would. And then when you hurt them a significant amount, you can, like, pull their soul out, and it's all like they come towards you and they double, like, bend backwards and their face is all distorted, and you rip their core out, which is a very, like, you feel it through the controller, and it's quite satisfying. And I'm just going through it. There's talking cats. There's these floating cats that you can talk to that will sell you cucumbers and sardines and mackerel to eat, basically. Kevin, what are you looking at?
Arsenal just had a free kick. We're recording this as the Champions League is on, and there was just nearly a goal. So my TV's up here, so I'm watching it.
Oh, you're just like, I'm staring off into space, and I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And so, like, there's obviously your main quest, and there are a bunch of side quests, and you know what I'm like, I'm gonna do a side quest. And they're all quite different. Like, one of them, I had to go and there was a umbrella that was jumping around that had arms that I had to go and catch because it was like some kind of spirit. There was this weird frog that I had to stealth around and get him. And, like, you're going... So, like, all the people that have disappeared, they're all, like, in the air as balls of, like, astral people, and you have to collect them. And as you collect them, you collect them in these, like, weird paper dolls. And then you have to take that paper doll... Like, this is weird. You have to take the paper dolls to a telephone box, and then the telephone box, like, gets all the spirits and stuff goes through with them, and then they're taken out of the city, and then they're fine again. So bizarre. But yeah, it's a nice, creepy game, but I like that you can explore Tokyo and stuff. And yeah, I was just playing it for like 4 hours yesterday because it was in my mind. I just, you know, when like something in your mind flickers, something you're like, oh yeah, I remember the game. I remember playing it. I got to a point where it says you cannot go back. This is like, you know what I mean. So I never finished it because I'm like that. But there is DLC for it now, so I might, if I complete it or finish it, I might go for the DLC. But yeah, I was just playing it for a few hours yesterday because I was feeling sorry for myself. But yeah, I've been making Lego since we got back. I got what ship did I get, Kevin?
The Milano.
I got the Milano. It's massive. Don't buy it. I didn't realise.
It's awesome. It's just big. Isn't it?
It's awesome. It's lovely, but it is. I
mean, it's not on the scale of some of those Star Wars ships you can buy, but as far as the Marvel ones go, I've got like 3 or 4 of the Marvel ones. It's a big one. It's
very wide. It's got a wingspan on it, like I'd say like 1.5 feet maybe. It is quite large, but yeah, that was like the main thing I did this week. And then I've just been trying to put my 5 boxes of Shame that's over there back together, but I don't think I've got any space left. I don't have enough shelves. I need shelves.
You've got as many shelves as you had in your old room.
No.
You do. You do now. Now we've got those new shelves up. You absolutely do.
Yeah, but I didn't have the Milano.
Problem is you've put loads of non-Lego stuff all over them.
Yeah, because I needed the shelves from the front room as well. So
yeah, you've got them as well.
But we'll see. Maybe some just goes into
we need
storage.
to get an interior designer over to come and show you how to get stuff on your shelves. What we need is to get the stepladder in that room, because what I have noticed is a lot of your shelves, the top shelves aren't really being utilised very well.
Yeah,
so we need to get the stepladder in there for you.
It's like 5 foot, Kevin.
Yeah, exactly.
5 foot. And I can't reach all the way up there and all the way up there.
Yeah, so we need to get that sorted.
So I'm now building my mini...
Stop building more Lego and unpack the Lego that's still boxed up.
I need to finish my mini Ninjago set, and then that shelf's finished.
Obviously,
I just got
that is the logic of an addict.
No, because it needs. I've got I've got this much space left on that mini shelf, and this is the last one, so I have to finish it. But I've not gone back to Star Wars yet.
No,
I don't
me
know
neither.
why. It's just not grabbed me.
I want to. I definitely. It's one of the few games that I really want to, but I feel like it's slipping away from me, and I don't want it to, but I feel like it will. Similar to Suicide Squad, similar to
But the thing is,
games.
with games, the games that you buy are always going to be there. They're not going anywhere. There's a Zelda game comes out next week. I've got Kevin to pre-order that because I like that. Well, you play as Zelda this time, which is you don't really have done ever, I don't think. So we've got a bit of Zelda.
Having Smash Brothers, I think, and Mario Kart.
Well, yeah, but like as a game, as a main protagonist, she's always been the one in the background. So yeah, we get to play as Zelda next week. And then after that, in a few weeks, there's Assassin's Creed, and then that will probably take me to Christmas because I do like Assassin's Creed.
Indiana Jones in December.
And then Indiana Jones, which I will play, even though it's only on Xbox, but I have an Xbox. I don't play it enough because I forget it's there.
You might as well. There's not much out in December, so you might as well.
No, I pay $14.99 a month for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I might as well
use it.
I just don't.
Madness. Imagine paying that for something you don't really use.
Well, imagine, like, we're using this new fangled
That was maybe
app
PlayStation
that
Plus,
you
to be
paid
fair.
for, and you're paying for EA and whatnot. You've been paying for EA a lot of years.
I mean, I have the top level of Xbox, the top level of PlayStation, the top level of EA, and haven't played a game on any of them for about 3 years.
To stop
I'd be
the
a very
PlayStation
wealthy
one.
man if I stopped subscribing to things, I think.
Well, then while you're sat there, unsubscribe to PlayStation. You don't need it.
I mean, I might do, though, so I probably should leave it on just in case.
Whatever. That's me. That's me done. So I'm going to go back to my Ninjago build.
Speaking of subscriptions, this is very short because I know that no one cares about it, but I say that, but actually I got messages from someone about this. So I recently decided on a whim to go premium on the Neopets website and start paying them the monthly fee. I suddenly thought to myself, when I was looking at the fact that my account was nearly 24 years old, I was like, I should probably start throwing some money at these people. They've survived, like, circling the bowl for quarter of a century nearly. So yeah, I subscribed. Weirdly, and in typical Neopets fashion, I went through the whole process. It told me it didn't work. I got an email telling me I'd started paying them, and then the premium features went on a 2-day maintenance thing, and then I finally got it all sorted, and it's working fine. But I was told that at the start of the month, I mean, mine all get to this point, but at the start of every month they give you a load of items, and if you sign up midway through, you have to wait until the next cycle. So it was like, oh, okay, I literally picked the worst time to do it, but it doesn't matter. But I've been playing the arse off of that because there's like a nice big event on it. There's like they keep bringing out new boss battles that you need to do. They keep bringing out new challenges and little games. There's a cool little comic story they bring out every couple of days that you read through. I'm just powering up my pet and fighting these weird creatures that they keep putting into it, and it's like cool, it's nice. I've joined the Discord. I think I said that before. Properly into it at the moment. A couple of listeners have messaged me saying they're playing it. One added me on there, and we were just chatting and sharing some bits. I'm really pleased. It's made my sort of morning routine quite nice. Like, I've got a thing now where I help my son get ready for school. He goes off in his cab, and then I sit and do my Neopets while I'm waiting for my daughter to get up so I can drive her into school. And I get it all done and I take her in. It's just a good little morning routine for me. I also wanted to cover off. While you were away, did you play the new Pokemon Go update, or are you off that now? I know we played
it a bit. It was
it
was a little bit because we were obviously so busy. I was only dipping in and out of it. I'm still a little bit confused by it. But we did some. Me and Pabby did a couple of raids with the big fancy raidy things that I can't remember the technical term for.
Yeah, Dynamax.
That's the one. Yeah, we did a bit.
Yeah.
I'm pleased they've added it in, and I quite like the way they've done it. So they've added in all these new stops everywhere, and they sort of change places every day, or they have a little countdown and then they change. So they've all got weird names, though. It's like they've picked all of the badly submitted poker stops from over the years, and then they just alternate between them. Because I get like Deep in Caravan Park, but it's the doctor's surgery. I've got like something like Sid's Cabs is a stop. Tesco's is on there as one, which is handy because I live near that. But I'm hoping that they cycle through some of the really dodgy ones I tried to submit over the years, because they're all around my house, so that'd be very handy if that is what they're doing. There's like Dave's Printer, which is, just random. This has really got Ollie into it. He's super excited. He was telling me that today they added a new Dynamax Pokemon in, and he's been asking me all week, when's the 18th, or the 18th's coming up. And then this morning he was like, today's, whatever it was, yesterday, today's the day that this comes out, and he wanted to go for a drive and do that. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's still early days. They're tweaking it, and they're changing bits and bobs about it. But yeah, it's a new feature. They've added Megas, now they've added Dynamax. They'll rinse that for all it's worth, and then they'll add in the Gen 9 Terrestrializer, I imagine. But it's cool. I've not got any complaints on it. And I might as well just cover off like Baldur's Gate. I've been playing that still. I entered Act 2.
Have you got past the dragon bit yet? Not the dragon. Yeah, there's a dragon. Like, I got stuck on that game because I was really enjoying it. And I was going through it, and I met
Act 1?
Yeah. Just like I never got to Act 2. But, like, I went through all the goblins. I did all that.
I know what you mean. You go across a bridge and suddenly there's, like, a cutscene. So,
I cannot get past that bit.
I was frustrated there because I knew that one of the people there was someone that could join your team. And what kept happening for me was I would go down there, I would answer their question, the fight would kick off, and they would immediately kill that character. And, like, I have not... like. I've been really good with this game in terms of, like, I lost one of the characters immediately at the start because you had to roll a dice and I didn't succeed, and I was like, fine, I'll roll with that. But with this one, I was like, there's literally nothing I can do here, and I don't understand why. And so I was looking into it, and there are other places you can recruit that character, but there's also a way you can just answer the questions. So I can't remember exactly how you do it, obviously, but if you look it up, you can just answer the questions a certain way, and then they're like, okay, fine.
I'll have a look, because
like,
I've got
go.
save.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from that bit, I'd kind of gone underground and done all the underground bits, and then I was ready to move on, and then it was like, are you sure? Maybe you should have a look around and check that you've done everything in the map. So I went around the map. I'm glad I did, because I was wandering through a forest and I met a little dog called Scratch who joined my team, lives in the camp now. I don't know how to bring him out into battles, and I'm worried that if I did, he would die anyway. So I don't know whether the companion pets can die or whatever, but I've got a little owl bear and a dog that just live in my camp now, and I throw a ball for him now and again and give him a little stroke. I moved on to Act 2, and I obviously won't talk spoilers, but bloody hell, that was difficult. I basically got total party KO'd.
No.
2 or 3 times. Like, it's very frustrating, because what I would say is save. Anytime you do anything in this bloody game, save. But I think I saved before I went there, and then played for an hour and a half, and then suddenly everyone got KO'd. And then I thought I'd solved the problem of what was causing that, and everyone got KO'd. And then I did something else wrong, and everyone got KO'd. And it's like, oh my God, I just ended up losing 2 hours of time each time, and I was very, very patient with it. I am much more used to that now, and hadn't really had that problem until I think I'd gone like a week or so without that happening. And then last night I had it happen that about 1:30 in the morning I got KO'd, and when I loaded it back up, it was a bloody hour and a half I'd lost. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, I used, with Divinity Original Sin, I used to do that. I wouldn't save, obviously by the same people, and yeah, you get so frustrated. So yeah, I understand
I've
where
had
you're
total
coming
KOs
from.
so many times. Like I say so many. I mean, not tons and tons, but it's hard enough that I am having that. I am in a situation at the moment where I'm just not sure what to do. I know there's no wrong answers and the game won't break or anything like that, but I am a little bit like, I don't want to cock this up. I need to figure out the right route, and I was chatting to a friend who's playing it, and they said to me they were trying to solve a situation earlier in the game peacefully, and I was kind of thinking, it didn't even occur to me to try and solve it peacefully. I'm not even sure what you're saying. You know, but to be fair, looking through it, I went to a place, convinced some people that I was on their side, and then we worked together to solve the problem. And I think I solved it as peacefully as realistically I could have done. But what my friend is doing is knocking everybody out. And so when there's a situation like that, they go and KO all the people that they don't really want to kill. And so I was like, maybe I should start trying to do that. But then I keep forgetting to turn it on or forgetting to turn it off. So there's someone I wanted to kill, and I knocked them out. But then there's someone I wanted to keep alive, and I killed him. But there was like a task I was just on at the moment where it was saying, you need to help us get some stuff from that room. And when I went in the room, someone was just like, hey, you can't touch this stuff, that's ours, or whatever. And I just murdered him. And then I'm like, God damn it. There's probably a way around that. I could have probably knocked them out. So now I'm just carrying their body around, which I forgot, actually. I picked their body up thinking, I'll lob this down a hole. But I've just realised my character's been carrying them around for about half an hour now, just in her bag, I guess. I don't really know where she's put them. She's big. But, yeah, I need to go throw her down a hole.
You should
I'm loving
definitely
it. This game's great.
Play the Divinity games, because they're by the same people and they're a lot like...
I tried, they're not as good. It just doesn't have the lore. They're not. Baldur's Gate is something else. No, it's not. It's the story that makes Baldur's Gate so magical. Yeah, but obviously they didn't have the whole Dungeons and Dragons backdrop to use for Divinity. It's just, it's not the same. Yeah, it's not the same.
Well, I find them very much same. Same developer, same...
The gameplay and stuff is similar, but the story's just not close to the same level. And I only play this for the story. I don't care about the gameplay. The gameplay's just a means to the end. It's the wonderful branching story of deliciousness that I enjoy.
It's just my opinion.
I know you'll find this hard to believe, but I did do something really stupid earlier.
Unbelievable.
I was trying to lockpick a door. It had a 30 score on it, which I could achieve, but I would have had to have rolled a 19 or a 20. And I had 2 dice per go, so I could just pick the highest one of the pair. So I thought, odds are I'll get 30. I went through something like 15 lockpick sets, and then I started looking through my kit to see whether I had anything that would raise my score. And then when I returned to the map, I realised there was a switch on the wall that opened the door for me.
Oh, no.
And there was literally nothing behind it.
Oh, God, that's awful.
But when I realised the switch was there, I just died. I was just like, I feel so stupid. Because I wasn't looking at it from that angle when I arrived at it. But when the angle changed and I saw the switch, I was like, you moron. I almost scummed that. I just thought, I want my bloody lockpicks back.
15 of them, yeah.
I didn't in the end. I just thought, screw it. I'll have to eat that. But no, yeah, this game is just perfect. I love it. It's really fun. I'm really glad that I finally got on top of it. Yeah, everyone should play it.
Yeah, I need to get past that
the
battle.
Only other thing I played, which is very random, and I'm not going to go off on a tangent with this, I just thought it was worth mentioning because it made the news this week. Have you heard or seen online Asset Manager Quest? It's a very random thing.
Let's have a look.
Where basically it's a browser game, but it's basically a protest group have made an entire game because they're annoyed with Aberdeen Asset Management for the fact that they've got billions in fossil fuels and all this stuff, and so they've just made a game where you're the CEO of Aberdeen Asset Management and you have to make decisions, and it's like anytime you click stop funding fossil fuels, you're like, yeah, you did it, well done, well, you win the game. But there's all these convoluted trees of go and get a pastry, there's a van nearby, you open the van, what are you going to do, and all this, or your kid's crying, you go talk to your kid. Or I've ended up with the board of Aberdeen Asset Management having God turn up to tell them that he's in the wrong because I died, went to the afterlife, had an argument with God, got sent back down, all this. There's all this convoluted stuff, but they are literally, their whole aim is just that they want people to play it and then like tag them on LinkedIn or whatever. And I'm like, that I've never seen anything like that. Like I just find it hilarious that someone's gone to that length of trouble to make an entire browser game just to be like, yeah, you need to. Normally they'd be outside their buildings protesting or moaning or whatever, and this is just random.
Different way of doing it, isn't it?
But it's very funny. Yeah, I'm wondering what other games will pop over the years now. Just you'll end up with someone making a browser game to protest a football club to sack the manager or stop playing you'll end up with. I don't know. I don't want to pick a football manager out of thin air. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but they'll just be like sack Postecoglou or whatever. And then I like Big Ange, by the way. But a new phase started, a new era, protest games. So if anyone's got any more of them, I'm up for seeing that. I think that's funny. I'm enjoying that. It had some entertaining words in it, stories and so forth. But that is my lot, I think, to talk about off the top of my head. So, Pab, if you've got anything to wrap up with?
Me? Okay. Other than Astro Bot, which is predominantly the only thing I've been playing substantially, I have played a new game called UFO 50.
Ooh, I saw this mentioned on Twitter as well, yeah.
You heard of UFO 50?
No.
Only in the first 49 of them.
I thought that it was an actual UFO that had, news had come out on, and I was disappointed, but it turned out to be a game.
No, it's a video game from the developer of Spelunky. It was announced in 2017.
Jeez, that's long.
Yep, and it is 50 unique games in one. They are sprawling in several different varieties of different types of games, but they're all sprite based, or pixel based, sprite based. They remind. I don't want to say 8-bit ish. I want to say probably 8 to 16-bit, sort of in between the two games, and you basically load up the game and it's just like 50 floppy disks on the screen, and you just pick one up and start playing. So far I've played about. Did I say I played? I think I played about 2 hours of it. I've played 20 games. I've not even done the 50 because I wanted to actually see what they are. Some games I just immediately turned on and went, nope, this isn't for me, and just swapped game. Some are like full length RPGs, like akin to the original Final Fantasy games, like scale and size. Some are Samurai Pong. Some are like sort of like race car Splatoon, I think, if I remember rightly, something like that. There's one that seemed like, I think it was called a Tactics, and it seemed a little bit like medieval Plants vs Zombies, which seemed alright. And then there's so many of them, but like I say, there's a lot of them. Just you immediately know when you start playing. Go, it's like an old NES RPG. This isn't for me. This is not my type. I didn't play these games. But what I did get the feeling of was like when I had like my first computer, which I don't even remember what it was now. It was like it had a floppy disk drive. That's how I remember. I remember it had a floppy disk drive. I don't know if it's just the fact that these games are on little floppy disks, but just that the fact when I got my computer, I had a big like floppy disk like case full of them, and I'd just pull one out and go, "What's this?" and just put it in and just see what it was. I didn't know what it was. I just got a big pack of floppy disks with just random stuff on them, and it gave me that sort of feeling of like, I don't know what I'm getting in. I don't know what I'm getting here. I've got 50 games to play. I don't know what they are. I might like them, I might not. But it gave me that feeling of like just going through floppy disks and just picking them and going, okay, I'm going to just play this and see what it does. Which was cool. I look forward to actually getting through the whole 50 at some point. But I know the game itself, UFO 50, is getting very good reviews right now. highly reviewed and well liked. I think it was £15, I want to say. So you do get your money's worth out of it.
Bargain-tastic.
Exactly. There's tons of games out of it, and it does seem pretty damn good for what it is. I've enjoyed the 20 I've played. I've not said some of them just aren't for me. Some of them are very simple. Some of them are like quite in depth. But the ones I've quite liked a lot. So I wonder if there's a way to favourite on that game. I'm thinking now, like if I can just like put ones to the top of the pile, sort of thing, so I know which ones I like. Because it's just like a wall of floppy disks, it's like, and they're just an icon on them.
Aren't they named or anything?
Sorry?
Aren't they named? So you know. Which
Yeah,
one?
they're all named. Yeah, you've got to click on them, and it brings the name plot on the bottom of the screen, sort of thing, of what it is. So they are all named. They're in there. So yeah, I'll continue to chip away at that because I want to see what the rest of the games are. So you probably hear more of that in the future. The other game I have played, I've not played as much as I've liked to play this. I've probably played about 45 minutes, maybe to an hour. I've only played it this evening. Is the Plucky Squire?
Oh my gosh, yes! I've seen someone play this. I want this game. This game is mind blowing. I'll let you talk about it. Oh my gosh, yes! I watched someone last night. I think it was like Miniature Nerd, and this. I want to play this game. It is so good. Sorry, I'll let you get back to it, but yes.
Yes, you're right, Anna. I've seen many a trailer for it, and it looked very interesting. So you start off the premise of you are a plucky squire called Jot, I want to say.
Yep.
And you are it is told in like a storybook form. There's a book on a table, and you are in the story is being told, narrated, all voice acted, narrated, and you, like I say, move the pages over as you go through the world, sort of thing. And you do certain tasks, but they're all, like I say, I've pretty much done a tutorial. I've not done much more than the tutorial in it, but you do tasks like fetching certain things for certain people, doing platform kind of puzzle sort of things, just wandering around this 2D cartoon-esque like book world. And there comes a point where you have to do the puzzle, or there are puzzles with, like, you can cut words out of sentences and swap them with other words on the page, so you can, then that affects the world. So there was one where you had to collect some cat food, and it was across the other side on the other page, and you couldn't get across a river in the middle of the double page. But what I did was I cut the word forest out of the sentence and changed it to a word that said ruin. Mm-hmm. And then that allowed me to push the cat food around, sort of thing, and then I had to swap it back to forest to get it, because it was then across the river, and move it around again, basically just chop and changing the world, because the world changes based on what the sentence in the book says. And then it comes to a certain point, which I just got to pretty much just before this podcast, where the bad guy, the evil wizard, forces you out the book.
Yes, he does.
And you are now in the 3D world, on the desk of this kid's desk, and you then have to find your way back into your own book. You get greeted by, I think there's a bookworm in the actual book itself initially, and then you meet the bookworm in the real world, because the bookworm could travel between books. And in doing so, because you've now travelled from the book world into the real world, you can now sort of link between worlds. Do you remember Link Between Worlds on the 3DS years ago? You probably didn't, because it's a Zelda game. Mm-hmm. People listening will know what I mean. Like, Link Between Worlds allowed you to pretty much like imprint yourself onto a wall and then navigate around walls and stuff, rather than being in the 3D world. You can do that in the game. You can navigate onto drawings, and you can navigate the world via pictures and what this kid has drawn and paper in the world. It seems very nifty, seems cool. I don't know. I heard it that the reviews are saying it's kind of, it outstays its welcome a little bit. It everything it's got to give kind of runs like you kind of like, okay, I've had enough of this. So we'll see. we'll see how we get on. So far, I've played about, like I say, just shy of probably an hour. It seems all right. It seems all right for what it is. It seems good. I think I got that for 20 quid, I think it was.
Is that how much it is? I'm definitely going to go and look for this. Oh my god!
Have a look at it. See if
I like being little in big rooms. Like I forget what it was.
What a sentence!
No, but you know
I
what
like being little in big rooms.
No, what I like being in that kind of like you're tiny. You've got like a whole room to explore, and I love that kind of.
That is very much here.
Yeah, so I've definitely.
To watch The Secret World of Ariete on Netflix.
Look, but yeah, I watched it last night. I was like, I have to go and get this. The fact that you can jump in and out of a storybook into a real world, he turns into like a real boy. Like there's a part just before you get chucked out of the book where this rock's falling down. And as the rocks get to the bottom, they come out of the book, and then they're like real rocks coming out of the bottom of the book.
Rocks,
and I was like, oh
just
my
fall
god,
off the table,
like how is this? Because this was before you get chucked out of the book, and I was like, how is this gonna how is that happening? And then you get chucked out, and I'm like, oh my god, like these are the games I like the Toy Story game where you got to be in the toy box, and I forget that other game from a year ago that I played the whole weekend. Tinykin, yes, that. So yeah, definitely one I'm going to have a look at. Definitely something I would like to play.
Yes. Yep. So far, so good. It seems okay for what it is. It's pretty good. I look forward to playing more. We'll report back next week.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that is pretty much it. Other than if you want to know about Fortnite updates, but I don't think you do. Other than that, Iron Man's in it now. That's your lot.
Well, there we go. We will wrap things up there then, boys and girls. If you would like to pester us on the internet, you can do that at Mgukpodcast, or you can follow me at Lelujo.
And I'm at RB6K.
I'm Miss Lelujo.
And I'm at Pab 1986.
And we will see you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, folks.
You're welcome, Pabby.